Hi guys, welcome to Sade Crochets. Today we're going to make this really cute bralette that can be a bikini top or just a regular top. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and drop me a comment if you like this video. For this tutorial I will be using Lily Sugar and Cream cotton. It's a medium weight 4 in the color rose, and I'm also going to use my favorite 4mm hook, a pair of scissors, and a measuring tape. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and make a slip knot. And then we're going to go ahead and chain 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, from here we're going to chain one more for a turning chain, and then we're going to insert our hook into the second chain from the hook, that 7th chain that we made. Insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through both loops on your hook for a single crochet. Insert your hook into the next space, pull up a loop, yarn over, single crochet. So we are going to make 7 single crochets in this row. And 7. Okay, so you should have 7 single crochets in this row. Chain 1 and then turn your work. So now we're going to start the ribbing. So when you do your ribbing, instead of going through both loops on your hook, you're going to go into that back loop only. Okay, so go into the back loop, pull up a loop, yarn over, and single crochet. Okay, insert into the back loop only, pull up a loop, and single crochet. So go ahead and continue that to the end of the row. And always remember your last stitch there. Make sure you have 7. Okay, chain 1 for your turning chain and turn your work. And we're going to repeat that again, going into the back loops only, and make sure you don't go into your turning chain. Make sure you skip that turning chain. Go into the back loops only. Okay, chain 1 and turn your work. And basically this pattern is going to continue until it gets long enough to cover the front half of your body. Okay, so in general a size extra small might be like 45 chains. A size small might be like 49 chains. A medium maybe 51 to 53 chains, or rows, I'm sorry, all those are rows. So 45 rows, 47 rows, 51 rows, or 53 for a medium, and then for a large maybe like more like 57 chains. So just make sure that you end up with an odd number of rows. That's going to be important for the next steps. So go ahead and then you can always measure it against yourself just to make sure. But go ahead and make this band as long as you need it to be for your desired size, and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so I finished my band and this is what it looks like. I'm making a size small, so I did 47 rows. So that's long enough for a size small. Okay, so whatever size you did, just make sure that it is an odd number because we're going to need an odd amount for this next step. So for this next step, go ahead and chain one. And now we're going to work along the side, the top side that we're on. And we're going to be putting one single crochet into the side of every row that we have. Okay, so since I did 47 rows, I'm going to make 47 chains, and it'll be however many rows you make, that's how many you're going to have. So chain one for a little turning chain for a little height, and then insert your hook into the side of that last stitch. You can try to pick up 2, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then we're going to single crochet. Actually, I have a piece of yarn there sticking out, so we'll try that again. Okay, pull up a loop, there we go, and single crochet, and then go into the next row, insert your hook, pull up a loop, and single crochet. Okay, so we're going to make one single crochet for every row that we've done. So just go ahead and finish that and make sure that you have the same amount of single crochets in this row that you have rows down here. Okay, and then I'll show you what to do after that. So I have one chain left, and I'm going to go ahead and do my last single crochet. Pull that closed. And that's what it looks like. So it's a difference. Now you have actual stitching here. Just make sure, go back and count and make sure you have your 47, 45, 40, 51, whatever you started with down here, make sure it's the same and make sure it's an odd number. From here we're gonna chain 3 and turn our work. Okay, this chain 3 here is going to count as a double crochet plus a chain 1. Okay, from here we're going to yarn over. So this counts as the first double crochet and a chain 1. So we're going to count to the third chain. So that's 1, 2, 3. And we're going to double crochet into this chain space, okay? The third chain space. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 for double crochet. Okay? Now we're going to chain 1, skip this next chain, and do a double crochet into the second chain space. Okay, so yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So we're going to chain 1 and double crochet, skipping 1 chain in between each double crochet. We're going to do this pattern until the end of the row. Okay, so after every double crochet, chain 1, yarn over, skip a chain, and double crochet into the next chain space. So continue this pattern until you reach the end of the row, and I'll show you what to do after that. Okay, so from here I have, I think, 2 more double crochets left. And the reason why you needed that odd number is because then you would have still 2 chains left so that it will work out that your last double crochet will be in that last stitch. Okay, so this is what it looks like so far. And now we're going to chain 3 and turn our work. And this chain 3 again counts as a double crochet plus a chain 1. Okay, so from here we're going to yarn over and double crochet right on top of the last the next double crochet in the previous row. Okay, so go in there, double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet on top of the next double crochet below, and chain 1, and double crochet on top of the next double crochet in the previous row. And we're going to continue this pattern all the way down to the end of the row, and I'll show you what to do at the end of the row. Okay, so I have 2 more double crochets left. And then when you get to this last one, because it's not actual double crochet, it's a chain 3, it's 3 chains. So when you chain 1 and want to double crochet into this last one, just make sure that you can see that there's 1 chain here. So skip that one and go into the second one. It doesn't matter if you can pull up 1 loop or 2 loops on here, but just go into that second one and not the first one. That way you have the same spacing there, if that makes sense. And don't worry if it's like that, we're gonna run down this at the end, okay? So go ahead and chain 3 and turn your work, and we're gonna do 1 more row just like the previous row. And once you're done with that, I'll show you what's next. Okay, so this is what your 3 rows looks like. Now we're gonna chain 1 and turn our work. From here, and this turning chain here is just a turning chain, it doesn't count for anything. From here we're going to go across the top with single crochets. You should end up with the same amount of single crochets that you started off with rows down here. So I'm gonna end up with 47 single crochets, okay? So go into that first chain space here, pull up a loop and single crochet. When you get to the box, go into the box, pull up a loop, yarn over and single crochet. So you're going to single crochet on top of every double crochet, and then single crochet into the box space that you made. Okay, so we're going to do this all the way down, and I will show you what's next after that. Alright, so I just have 3 single crochets left, so make sure you single crochet on top of that second to last double crochet, single crochet into the box space, and then find that middle chain and single crochet into that middle chain there. Okay, and just go along and count and make sure you have the right amount of single crochets in this row. I have 47 here. Okay, so when you're done with this row here, you're going to just double check and make sure that you have the same amount of single crochets in this row as you do for the entire thing. So like I have 47 single crochets in this row. Okay, from here I'm going to make a chain 3 and turn my work. And I've already found like this middle chain, which would be the 24th chain for me, because I have 47 single crochets. So go ahead and mark off your centermost chain space so you know where it is. Okay, so from here I chained 3 already, and that's going to count as 1 double crochet plus a chain 1. So we're going to skip this second chain space and double crochet into the third chain space. Okay, so yarn over, insert your hook into the third chain space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so you have 1 box here. From here we're going to go ahead and do double crochets all the way down until we reach that 21st chain space for me. Basically, you're going to go until you have 2 chain spaces left before your center chain. So for me, that's the 21st chain space. So double crochet until you have 2 chain spaces left on this half. Okay? And from there, I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so I've double crocheted on down until I have 2 chain spaces left on this side, and from there I'm going to chain 1, skip this next chain, and double crochet into that last chain. Okay, so yarn over and double crochet. Okay, so from here I'm going to chain 3 and turn my work. This chain 3 does count as your first double crochet, but we are going to start decreasing now. So we have been like skipping this first chain space here and going into the next double crochet, but this time we're going to skip this chain space and this first double crochet and go double crochet into the second double crochet of the previous row. Okay, so yarn over, insert your hook into that chain space and double crochet so that it's kind of like staggered in, and this is how we're going to do our decreases. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and double crochet all the way down this row until we have double crocheted into the second to last double crochet before our spacing here. So that's our goal, this second one, not the last one. Okay, so go ahead and double crochet on down until you reach that last spot, and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so I went on ahead and double crocheted into the second to last double crochet of this row, and from here I'm going to chain 1 and double crochet into the second chain space of these 3 chains. So not this first one and not that first one, but the one in the middle. Okay, just like we kind of did earlier. So chain 1 and then double crochet into that middle chain space. Okay, so as you can see, like both sides are in a way decreased. Okay, so go ahead and chain 3 and turn your work. From here we're going to do the same thing that we just did. We're going to continue with this decreasing pattern by double crocheting into the second double crochet of the previous row. Okay, so go ahead and yarn over and double crochet into that row, into that double crochet, and we're going to do the same thing and stop when we get to the second to last double crochet on the other side. Okay. And so we have that one second to last double crochet coming up here, and that's where we're going to stop this, and then we're going to chain one and double crochet into that middle chain of the last row. Okay, oops, I didn't yarn over. Okay, so this pattern is going to repeat until we have just three chain spaces left, because now it's decreasing. Okay, so we're going to continue this until we have just 3 double crochets left, and I'll show you what to do after that. Okay, so I finished my row with, now I just have 3 double crochets here in the middle. I'm going to continue this pattern though, so I'm still going to chain my 3, turn my work, and from here, because you're skipping one chain, you're only going to make 1 double crochet in that second chain, like that. Okay, and then chain 1 and find your middle chain space and double crochet in there. Okay, so now you have 1 double crochet in the middle, and from here I normally just chain out 3, turn my work, and then I double crochet into the middle chain space of that previous chain 3, like that. And now you kind of have like a triangle at the top. Okay, so from here I'm going to chain 1 and cut my work like that. And now our first cup is finished. So from here what we're going to do is turn our work, and we're going to do the same thing on the opposite end. So we're going to tie our yarn into this first single crochet on the other side. I'm just gonna make a regular double knot. Okay. So once you have your double knot made, go ahead and go back into that same chain space that you tied a knot in, pull up a loop, and we're going to go ahead and just chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to skip the second chain and go into the third chain, just like we did on the other side. So this cup is going to be just like the other side. If you want to go ahead and rewind just to see how to do it, that's fine, but it's just like the other side. The only difference is that we had to tie our knot there. Okay, so go ahead and finish this cup, and then I will show you what's next. Okay, so I finished both cups, and I did not yet tie off on this side. So make sure you don't do that yet, because we are going to go straight into our string on this side. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and make a chain of 250. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So just chain out 250 chains. And then if you are like a size large, maybe you might even want to do 275. But 250 should be enough for a medium and for a small. Okay, so go ahead and make your chain and I'll show you what's after that. Alright, so I made my chain, and actually once I got to chain in, 200 was enough chains, and I'm going to correct that earlier so that you don't end up with 250 or 275. If you're size large, you probably could do, 225 to 250. Okay, so I'll correct that earlier. Anyway, from here, what I'm going to do now is go ahead and slip stitch down this chain. So in order to do that, you go ahead and insert your hook, skip one chain space, insert your hook into the next chain space, pull up a loop, and then pull through that one loop there. So insert into the next chain space, pull up a loop, and pull through the loop on your hook. And that's how you slip stitch down this chain, and it just reinforces it and makes it a little bit thicker. It makes it look a little bit more expensive, in my opinion. So I normally do this with my strings. It's a little time consuming, but it's so worth it. Okay, so go ahead and slip stitch down your string, and I will meet you at the end and show you what to do next. Okay, so I just have one more slip stitch left. And now I can start on my single crochets. So we are going to actually single crochet all the way around until we get to the next top of the next cup. Okay, so these are kind of double crochet height, so I'm going to go ahead and put 2 single crochets into this hole. 1 and 2, and then I'm going to put 1 single crochet into like this base of that row, and then 2 in every hole. 1, 2, and 1 in the base there, and then 2 in the hole. 1 and 2, and then 1 in the base. Okay, so I'm going to continue this until I get to the middle, and I'll show you what to do in the middle. Okay, so I've put two single crochets in that hole that's closest to the middle, and then I'm going to go ahead and put 1 single crochet in that. So you'll have the 1 in the middle, and then you have the 2 that the cups are coming out of. I'm going to put 1 single crochet in the one that this cup is coming out of, and then 1 single crochet in the middle, and then 1 more single crochet where the second cup is coming out of, and then go ahead and continue putting your single crochets up this side of the cup, just like we did on this side. Okay, so continue that, and then I'll show you what to do after that. Okay, so I have, I think, 2 left in this hole, 2 more single crochets. 1 and 2. And now I'm gonna start on my second string. So however many chains that you did on your other side, you're gonna want to do the same amount here. So I'm gonna go ahead and chain out 200 and do my slip stitches all the way down, and then I'll show you what's next. Okay, so I have about two more, nope, just one more slip stitch. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and line this string along the outside edge here so that I can crochet over it. And then I'm gonna go ahead and continue with my single crochets, 2 in every hole and 1 in every base of the hole. Oops. I think I dropped my, there it is. Okay, so I'm going to continue this until I get to the top of where these 3 rows of boxes start. So as soon as I get there, I'll show you what's coming up next. Okay, so I am now at the beginning of the boxes. I'm going to do 1 more single crochet in this row that we had single crochets in. And from here, I'm going to go ahead and make a chain of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. After I do my 10 chains, I'm going to skip the first 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go into that 5th chain and make a slip stitch. Okay, so you have a little hole here, and that's where we're going to connect our string. So after you slip stitch there, go ahead and continue down. And by the way, if you want this hole to be a little bit bigger, you can definitely skip a couple more chains. But otherwise, just go ahead and slip stitch on down. Oh, I got a big knot there. Okay. And once you're done with your last slip stitch, we're going to go ahead and single crochet 2 into each box like we've been doing. 1 and 2, and then 1 in the base. And then 2 in every box, and 1 in the base. We're going to do that all the way down. And then once we get here, I believe we had 7 single crochets here in these rows, so we're just going to do 1 in every row, and make sure you crochet over this tail here. I'm going to pull it tight once I'm done. There we go. And just 1 single crochet in every chain space. I'm going to drop that. And then I have one here in the corner. I'm going to single crochet there. And then I'm going to do the same thing I did here. I'm going to chain out 10, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I'm going to skip the first 4 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, and slip stitch into this 5th chain space. And so I have another hole there for my string again. And then I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch all the way down. And when I get back down to this corner, I'm going to make one more single crochet into the same chain space that I started in. Okay. And then along the bottom, I'm going to do the single crochets along the bottom, one in every row. So this one is the first one. So you should have, like, I'm going to have 47 single crochets here. And you should have the same amount of single crochets that you started off with. So go ahead and line the bottom with single crochets, and then we'll hit that next corner and I'll show you what to do after that. Okay, so I have one more space left, so I'm going to go ahead and single crochet into that last chain space there, and then I'm going to make my my 10 chains, and just like we did on the other side, I'm going to make my 10 chains to help me attach my string and continue along this edge here until we get to the same spot that we did the second hook, or like string attachment, whatever you want to call it. So go ahead and do that in the same spot on the other side, and then finish lining this, and you'll be back at the beginning and I'll show you the last step. Okay, so I have 2 single crochets left. And then I'm gonna go ahead and slip stitch into the base of the string. Okay, and then I'm gonna chain 1 and tie off. Okay. So now what we're going to do is go ahead and cut any strings that we crocheted over. So just pull them a little bit and then cut them. There should be 3 of those. And one up here. Okay, so now you should have four little hooks, eye hooks, or whatever you want to call them, for your string. So we are going to, let me try to get a better angle here. We are going to take the string from the left and put it into this first hole on the right. So take that left string and put it into this hole on the right and just pull it on through. Okay, and then we're going to take this string on the right. Actually, I kind of wanted that to be the outside. Make sure you do it on the side that you want to be on the inside or outside. And then take the opposite side and go ahead and put it into the other side like that. And then you're gonna take this side and put it into the other hook. So it's like a big crisscross in the back. There should be 2 crisscrosses back here. That. And this one will go over here. If I can get it in there. There we go. And so this is how it ties. You just tie it here and you have one tail to weave in, and we are finished. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe. Also hit the notification bell for future videos.